New entertainment is trash. It's woke. It's unimaginative. It's not faithful to the source material. So stop watching it. Here on the Alternative Factory, we like to recommend old stuff. Stuff that we like, stuff that we think you will like, and we will tell you why. First up this week is 1967's The Dirty Dozen, starring Lee Marvin, Charles Bronson, NFL superstar Jim Brown, Ernest Borgnine, Telly Savalas, Donald Sutherland, and Oscar-nominated John Cassavetes, who played a former mob boss. In fact, all of these characters, except for Lee Marvin, are convicts in military prison. Lee Marvin's character is given the mission to recruit these guys on the promise of exoneration after the mission. Before we get into the mission, let's talk a little bit about the story and its inspiration. What's interesting about this movie is that MGM was able to buy the rights to the outline of the novel before it was published from the author E.M. Nathanson. So they own the rights to tell the story on film before the novel was even published in 1965. It was published in 1965, and the film had an instant following of the people that had read the novel. So these criminals are recruited, and they are airdropped, and they are supposed to infiltrate a Nazi mansion during a party and kill them all, because it's top brass of Germany, so that the Allied invasion of France and mainland Europe can be more successful with all of these top leaders of Nazi Germany taken out. Really interesting. You've got the intensity, you've got the action, of course, and even during the training scenes, you have some tension between Lee Marvin's character, John Reisman, and one of the generals, who ironically kind of serves as a villain beyond, of course, the Nazis. So you've got a lot of the drama there. You've got these great performances by what is almost an Expendables of the 1960s. All these top stars, some of them were just budding as stars in that year, but they would go on to become major stars. Bronson and Sutherland and all these other guys. So just a great movie that it's a fun movie, number one. Here's what it is, guys. This is the Suicide Squad you should be watching. This is a great movie with great performances. It's a classic. The movie and thus the book are not based on a true story. They're not meant to adapt real-life events, but they are inspired by a real-life military unit called the Filthy 13, originally the Dirty Dozen, by some in the media who wrote on the war. So don't go into this thinking it's some kind of historical adaptation, but nonetheless, it is an interesting story to watch with great performances. It is currently on HBO Max. Let's get into the television recommendation this week, and it is an animated entry. It's Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Technically different series, but ones that are consistent with each other, as all shows are in the DC animated universe. You've got some great voice actors in this, starring Kevin Conroy, George Newbern, Phil Lamar, Susan Eisenberg, Michael Rosenbaum, Carl Lumbly. And then when you look at the extended cast, guest roles, everything else, both on the heroes and the villains side, you've got names such as Michael York, Michael Ironside, Jeffrey Combs, Jason Bateman, CCH Pounder, Michael Dorn of Star Trek fame, Clancy Brown, and Mark Hamill, who reprised his role as Trickster from the 1990 Flash television series. This show is animated, but it is in no way a children's show. They're able to tell complex stories that are faithful to the comics, to the lore. Definitely not a show to miss, and watch it from beginning to end. And if you're just jumping into the DCAU, this is where I would start. I would treat the Superman animated series, the Batman animated series, as more of prequels once you've seen this, because this, to me, is the peak storytelling for the DCAU. This is also on HBO Max. Obviously, Warner Brothers owns the rights to DC stuff right now, so it should be on there for the long haul, but I would check it out as soon as possible. You have actually over 90 episodes of these two shows combined, of Unlimited and the regular Justice League. So jump into this from the beginning and watch it. It is tremendous. I cannot gush about it enough. So, and honestly, this is what comics on screen should be. Not all the fighting about all the stuff that we see out there in the last couple of years. This, I don't see how anyone can't like this that's a comics fan. It has something for everyone. All the different characters. Some episodes will focus on some of the more minor characters. Some are Batman, some are Superman. Definitely check it out. This, on DVD, if you want to get this, you're going to pay up. I mean, DVDs, to get all, however many seasons this would be, like 5, 2 of the first series and like 3 of the second, at least $70. If you want to go Blu-ray, you're looking at a lot more. But why get Blu-ray for an animated series? I just don't see the point in that. But again, HBO Max, check it out there first, and if you really like it, then buy it on physical media. And speaking of liking it, if you like or don't like either of these recommendations, let me know in the comments. Months from now, if you happen to watch these and you want to give your thoughts, come back to this video and make a comment, because that's what the point of the Alternative Factory is. That's it for this week. We will see you next week with more recommendations.